Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about episode 4, it's 4, right? Yeah, 4, of Marvel and Disney's What If, entitled What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart Instead of His Hands? We got a lot to talk about here. Not just about the episode, but about its implications as well. So, starting off with the episode, I think it's interesting the direction we've come from, right? You know, episode 1, I came here and I was like, this shit ain't for me. Like, I don't need to see Captain America First Avenger with a different character in it. This wasn't creative. This lacked what I expected out of What If. And if it's gonna be like this, keep it. And now we're at episode 4, which these episodes have gotten progressively better, for the record. And now we're at episode 4, and this is one of the more ambitious things that I think they've done so far. We're looking at something that's almost like, you could borderline call this kind of like a short horror story. That right down to the concepts, to the imagery. This was some dark shit, and I really liked where it ended. I liked how it ended. I liked pretty much everything about this episode. The animation on it was great. Like I said, the imagery, when I talked about like the horror kind of concept, right? Like the way he looked after Doctor Strange had absorbed all of these beings, and then when he ultimately defeated the we'll call it good version of him, and how he almost looked like Quasimodo, and he finally got Christine back, and now he looks so grotesque he doesn't even want to be with them. Like, there's some dark places we're going here. So I really enjoyed like further imagery, like the images of the various beings and him absorbing the powers. I liked how they animated that. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch gave a pretty inspired kind of vocal performance. He had some really great moments. It's one of those things where it's like, even though it was animated, for a second it felt like you were actually watching like some version of a Doctor Strange movie, because it didn't feel like you were watching Benedict Cumberbatch voice an animated version of Doctor Strange. It felt like you were just watching Doctor Strange. It was a pretty inspired vocal performance. But yeah, I really liked the dark direction this took. I love the ending. I love the fact that they had the Watcher slowly start to interact with what was happening. Like, there's the moment where he speaks and Doctor Strange is like, who is that? Like, so he hears them for one. And, the Watcher's been narrating the whole time and no character has ever responded. But I think that was just symptomatic of, like, he's absorbed so much, power that he can maybe hear things from other universes, or in the case of the Watcher, someone who can observe all of these universes. And then later in the episode, when they have the Watcher, he's essentially asking him to intervene, and he's like, nope, I can't. Should did the right thing, asshole. and the universe ends. Like, wow, okay, so that's where we're going. But yeah, really great episode, and I'm very curious because, like, I don't know about you guys, and I haven't talked about this. I don't even think I've talked about this like on any of my social media, but watching the Spider-Man trailer for No Way Home, I was very curious about that because, like, we've seen Doctor Strange be very stringent on the rules in everything we've seen him in, from the first movie, once he becomes Sorcerer Supreme, from the first movie and through the Avengers, right? This is a guy who saw the 1 in 14 million ways that they could win this fight, and kept it to himself because he felt like, if I spill the beans, maybe it doesn't happen. So this is a guy who is very strict on doing anything to impact time. He keeps the time stone very guarded. Doesn't do anything to alter the course of events. And then the Spider-Man trailer comes along, and Peter's just like, hey, yeah, can you make it so that no one knows I'm Spider-Man? All right, cool, I'll do that. That doesn't, like, watching that trailer, I was like, am I tripping, or does this not seem like something Doctor Strange would do? Now, I'm wondering, like, is that the version of Doctor Strange who was willing to sacrifice the universe to bring Christine back? Because, like, clearly that guy doesn't give a fuck about changing what happened in the past. And it can make sense because, like, this movie would have to take place prior to the universe ending, I would think. But, like, what if that Doctor Strange, this universe, this one that we saw, which, I don't know, I felt like this, I'm going to rewind a little bit. I feel like this episode also did get a little bit too big for his britches at times. Like, it got a little bit too wonky with the science and the mysticky stuff. Like, I felt like it was trying to do a little bit too much. It got up its own ass just a little bit. But an example of that is when the Ancient One says, like, I've split the two Doctor Stranges into one universe. So there's the one that makes this decision and the one that makes the other decision. And it makes me wonder if the events of Loki, where Loki's decision, to kill that version of Kang, if that is what, we know that changed time. Did that somehow allow this other Doctor Strange, the one who made the wrong decision, into our universe, and that's the Doctor Strange that Peter's talking to in that trailer, not the Doctor Strange that we know from the Doctor Strange film and the Avengers films. So yeah, there's a lot to ponder there. And watching that episode, I thought this can't be a coincidence that we saw the Spider-Man trailer, last week or whenever that was. And I remember sitting there thinking, and I didn't see anyone else saying this either, so it made me wonder if I was tripping. I'm sitting there thinking, like, this doesn't seem like something Doctor Strange would agree to do so easily, or to agree to do at all. So, and then on the heels of that, to have a what if where Doctor Strange is presented with the same thing, but to his benefit, and he makes the wrong decision, and it creates a different version of him, like, that can't be a coincidence, right? So, yeah, I'm wondering if that's the Doctor Strange from this, and maybe what happened with Loki opened up the multiverse, the multiverse of madness, to allow this Doctor Strange into our universe, and that's the one that Peters makes this request of. So, yeah, like I'm really excited at the direction they're going with this whole multiverse thing overall. It's starting to look like it's something that, you tackle multiverses, it's going to be a thing where it's a big undertaking, right? But this is starting to look like it's going to be even bigger in scope than we had even thought. And I wonder, how do you top something like the Infinity Saga, something that plays out over the course of all those four phases and all these Avengers movies and everything that we had from Iron Man to Endgame, how that all played out and worked to that one moment or that one film or that one climax. How do you top something like that? And it looks like they're swinging for the fences on this multiverse shit, and that could be how you top that. Like, it looks like that's gonna be like the general makeup of this phase, and or maybe this. I don't know if they plan on doing multiple phases and having it be a saga, but that's what it's starting to look like. We talk about Kang as the big bad of it, and all this multiverse and time stuff. Like, that is right up my alley. So really looking forward to that. Really curious if this episode is going to have implications in the films, and I'm really liking the direction we're going now, because we're getting into almost kind of like new branches of genre for these what if episodes. Harsher, darker imagery, darker results. Like I said, getting progressively better. So like I'm pleased to go from episode 1 being like, keep this shit up and I'm not even gonna watch it, to episode 4 where now they're just rolling and they're doing really creative and exciting things with this show. So really good episode, and I will see you guys next week for episode 5. Peace.